in order to discuss what measures to take in the new geopolitical reality to bring about closer cooperation between the European Union and the United States. Members of the European Parliament and the US Congress gathered in Riga for the EU-USA Transatlantic Dialogue meeting.
For the 76th time, we met this year in Riga in Latvia. And Latvia is the place to be because a lot of political issues are very heavily focused on this part of Europe in the moment. We had three main issues. The first one was growth and employment, thanks to a better cooperation on free trade. So we were talking about TTIP and about the state of play. Our second issue was energy security. How can we reduce the dependency of some European countries from energy imports from Russia? And the third question was a closer cooperation on the fields of defense and security.
The world is not what we would like it to be. It is what it is. So it's very, very important that Europe and the United States strengthen as much as possible, maintain and strengthen our ties. The importance of NATO, I think now is also very clear. There maybe have been some in the past who thought maybe NATO was no longer relevant. I think the actions of Russia in the last few years have quieted those skeptics. I think the importance of NATO now is as relevant as it has been in a long, long time.
The participating MEPs and US congressmen signed a joint statement that underlined the need for bolstering economic and social ties. In particular, governments were urged to boost their defense budgets and streamline spending in order to guarantee a sufficient level of investment in defense in order to effectively thwart various threats and heighten the collective capacity to react.
Well, after these 2 days of discussions between members of the Parliament from the United States and from Europe, I think it is very clear why and how the transatlantic relation is very, very important. It has been important historically and it will be important in the future. And over the past 2 days we spoke specifically about energy issues, security, the tensions that we see on our eastern borders, but also the very explosive and worrying situation in the Middle East. But we also talked about trade and our economic ties. So in other words, three topics that are really about strengthening the transatlantic relation, looking at what differences we have, but also how we can make sure that our values, our open societies, our open and rules-based economies and trade can be continued in a rapidly changing world that is not without threats.
Participants agreed that the Transatlantic Trade and Investment Partnership should be an ambitious, balanced and comprehensive agreement, leading to lasting, genuine market openness and achieving growth and jobs. The dialogue upholds the importance of energy issues in the negotiations as a way to contribute to energy independence and as a way to counteract the Russian government's use of energy as a political weapon.
It's going to take cooperation and coordination, and it can't happen overnight. But I think with the European Union's efforts to combine a energy plan together with the United States, we have an abundance of energy we've been blessed with, both oil and natural gas, as well as our other renewable fuels. We've reduced our importation from over 60% in 10 years to a little over 40%, and we are become now the largest exporter in the world of oil and gas. And there are other policies that we can take that will in fact allow us to provide greater opportunities for us to reduce Europeans' reliance on Russian energy.
In concluding their two-day visit, participants visited the military base at Adaži, where they were shown weaponry and had the opportunity to observe training of recruits. The inter-parliamentary relations that exist between the EU and the US were established back in 1972, and the delegations meet twice a year in Europe and America.